I am Wayne James Sheppard, and I am the author of the book, Burden of Privilege, The Secret Life of Jeffrey Collins. I would say I was drawn to George Washington Carver in a more intuitive way rather than a conscious, deliberate reason for saying, oh, I think I will choose George Washington Carver as someone I'm interested in. I don't know why. I just was drawn to that one chapter in The Secret Life of Plants, and then when I read about him, it was his gentle nature and also the fact that he had to stand up against some great odds. Because as we know, at the end of the 19th century, into the early 20th century, there was still a great deal of prejudice against people of color. Add to that a man that's not only a very dark-skinned person, but because of illnesses when he was a child, his vocal cords were greatly damaged by whooping cough and some other problems, so that he spoke with a very, very high-pitched voice. So here is a man trying to make his way in a predominantly white southern world with not only this very dark skin, and how dare this man get an education, he's black, but on top of that, add a voice that sounds something like, well, and when I do this, the world will know. That's a pretty strange voice, but that's how he spoke, and yet he would go to white colleges on a kind of lecture tour where he had to still go in the back door to get into where he was going to speak. And some of the young white men attending were saying ahead of time, we're not going to listen to this, this racial epithet. And suddenly they were transformed from, I feel, not only his intelligence, but his true love of mankind and nature, to the point that some of these heretofore prejudiced young men got tears in their eyes and came to the stage afterwards and turned out to be lifelong friends with this man. Now there's a charisma there. There's something that's very unusual to create those kinds of turnarounds. What I'm hoping for is to follow through on daring to have a dream and to follow it, no matter what people say, either your closest friends or actual naysayers that'll say, oh, you could never do anything. All these other people have ideas. What makes you think your idea is so special? Well, I think you have to have this belief, and you just have to keep going and going and going and not give up. So I had the audacity to come up with a dream cast for the movie that at first sight it might appear to be, oh my gosh, that's so idealistic and unrealistic. But when you study the chemistry of the people I've chosen, I think you might have a different thought. I picture Jamie Foxx, who did a wonderful job as Ray, playing, the life of Ray Charles. I picture him as both the elderly Dr. Carver and also the young Jeffrey Collins, so that would be a dual role. I picture Oprah Winfrey as playing an 84-year-old Professor Emerita who has been entrusted with these special secrets of nature as a 22-year-old before George Washington Carver died. I picture Halle Berry as being Jamie Foxx's fiancée Eva. And I put these people together instinctively, I guess you would say, but also from just different things I would hear people talking about. I heard Jamie Foxx say on the Ellen DeGeneres show one time when someone asked, if you could act with one person in kind of like a role together, who would it be? He said Halle Berry. I had already imagined those two working side by side before I ever saw that on the show. I heard something just the other day that I thought was really cool. It's been out for some time now, but I just saw it on YouTube. It was an interview with Jamie Foxx with Tavis Smiley. And Jamie Foxx has an avocado farm now. And he has a man by the name of Mario tilling the fields, doing basically all the work. And Jamie told Tavis that he saw Mario in the field one day talking to the avocado plants very tenderly, very lovingly. And I watched Jamie Foxx's facial expressions while he was telling that to Tavis Smiley, and Jamie looked very respectful in repeating what Mario had said, and then Jamie said, and as a result, or whatever he said, the crop is abundant.